तू मेरा पिता, तू है मेरा माता, तू मेरा बंधप, तू मेरा भ्राता, तू मेरा राखा सबनी थाई तापोके हा काड़ा जियो तुमरी कृपा ते तुद पछाणा तू मेरी ओट तू है मेरा माणा तुझ बिन दूजा अवर न कोई सब तेरा खेल अखाड़ा जियो।
Welcome seekers to today's spiritual discourse titled Simran and the Five Holy Names. I have with me East Asia's main speaker, who is an advanced spiritual practitioner and also a disciple of a perfect living master. What is Simran, and why do we need to use Simran in meditation?
Simran is the holy mantra given to the disciple of a perfect living master during the time of initiation. These Simrans contain 5 holy names, which is the name of the Lord in 5 different regions of the creation, of the level of consciousness. So Master said to us that by reciting Simran, we get protection, we get inner protection while we traverse or travel through this region until we reach our true home. And this Simran, I believe that all the disciple of perfect living master know very well what they are, because I cannot say these 5 holy names here, but I can say how we can use this properly. In last meditation session that I did with all of my friends all around the world, they were asking me how to use Simran properly, how to use these 5 holy names properly. I told them, normally the disciple of perfect living master, they don't have understanding how Simran work, because they just recite these 5 holy names for the sake of it, and they have the belief that these 5 holy names will be provide protection during meditation as instructed by master. But I said to all of my friends that you have to treat these 5 holy names like you have 5 friends, and these 5 friends working for you, protect you during the time of during your meditation session. Because these friends, these 5 holy names was instructed by master, and master give us, the disciple, the authority of using these 5 holy names. And we have to make a personal connection with these 5 Lord, 5 holy names, recognize them one by one. And we have to remember them. As we recite each name, we have to treat as if we calling a person, we're calling 5 people to come and provide protection during our meditation session, during the time that our soul travel through different level of consciousness until the soul reaching our true home or the totality of consciousness.
Okay, the next question. Why 5 names and why not less or more?
It's the standard that all the students of Perfect Living Master or the disciple of Perfect Living Master has to learn, because inside there are 5 regions, and these 5 regions are physical level, astral level, causal level, program level, or um, universal soul level. And then the last level is our true home, Sachkhand. So these 5 names are representative of the Lord, who is in charge of giving us access inside when we, as the soul, travel through this region. So that's why 5 names. Why 5 names and why cannot be less or more? Yes, it depends on a perfect living master, your spiritual teacher. They can give you 7 names, can give you 3 names, they can give you 1 name. The difference is that you get this holy mantra directly from the authority of a perfect living master. So that name, that word, carry power of protection, carry power of the access that you can get, when you going inside. So different region, different realms of consciousness can open up to you, and you can travel through that safely and smoothly. Because I'm initiate of Supreme Master for over 18 years now. There's a time that within our association, within our group, we start to recite her name. We can recite master name like Supreme Master Hai, or her ultimate name inside as Tim Kotu. So we start to recite that as our protection too, because for some of us, we feel direct connection with that name, because we know Supreme Master as our perfect living master. So in association, there's some suggestion that instead of the 5 holy names, in emergency, we can call upon master name like Tim Kotu or Supreme Master Hai. Because there's a story of a Vietnamese girl. At that time, Supreme Master came to Thailand to do 10-day retreat in Pattaya. And because Vietnam is close by, so they hire buses to come, and they travel during the night. And there's a girl that's come with this bus, travel from Vietnam to Thailand. And during the night, the journey is very long, so the bus usually stop near the field for the people to go to toilet or something like that. So this girl stepped outside the bus, going into the field to do her business. Then she fall into a very dark pit because she cannot see. And upon falling, She cannot remember the 5 holy names instantly, but at that moment, she remember master name. She called upon Shinghai, as a supreme master Shinghai name. And she said suddenly some power come to lift her up, so she's not fall straight into that pit. She said it's like she slowly float down into the bottom of that pit, and she get safe. She didn't get injured, and after that, she called for help. And from her experience, she said that at that time, because my mind cannot remember the 5 holy names that Master given during the time of initiation, because I don't feel connect, um, don't feel direct connection with these 5 names, but I feel connect with the Master. So instantly, I use her name, and it's also provide safety and protection too. So I share this story to all of you just to show that, whatever name that you feel connect with the Master, that make you feel connect with the Holy Truth is good. And especially these 5 holy names, if you can make it like you call upon a person, you call upon 5 Lord to come and provide your protection, you reside in a meaningful way, of course, it's definitely gonna provide you the perfect protection from all harm, inside or outside, while we still a student, while we still the disciple of a perfect living master, while we still make our way up to our true home.
How does Simran work when you go above the mind?
Simran didn't work when we go above our mind, because Simran only work is the protection from all the karmic realms, right? This Simran can only work within the mind realms. That's why Master give us as distractions, I would say, this holy 5 name, this holy mantra to distract our mind, for the mind going inside, empowering the mind with this holy mantra that empowering the soul. Then when you get pulled to the soul level, then altogether you will not be able to remember this mantra, and at that time you won't even remember your name, let alone this mantra. So the purpose of Simran, given by perfect living master to all the disciples, is just to pull our attention inside and give the mind something to do. Give the mind that, the nature of the mind is always chatting, is always thinking of something. It's the function of the mind. So we put the mind into one habit of reciting this holy mantra, these 5 holy names.
Do different masters use the same 5 names, or do they use a different one?
Yes, interesting question. Because I'm initiated from 3 masters, right? I'm initiated from Supreme Master Singhai, Baba Gurinder Singh, and Son Ishwapuri. So I have experience from 3 initiation. So I would say yes, the mantra, the Simran that they're giving slightly different. Only because the tradition, the language of the world. So The first time I received these five holy names is slightly in Chinese version because I think, right, me think by my observation, Chinese they cannot pronounce certain words, so they use the closest word to that mantra. For example, the first name they recite it slightly different than the one I received from Babaji and Ichwaji. So I would say that yes, it might sound different here in this physical level when we recite, when we write it down, when we speak it out. But the power, the direct authority of the Lord is the same. So even Master give us slightly different pronunciation of the five holy names, but the same Lord, the same five Lord that is take care and provide protection inside are the same, and that's no different. And I also heard that in Persian tradition, in the past we used to have perfect living master from Sufi tradition, Sufi Islam tradition. They also have different five holy names, and it's totally different than the holy names that we recite. But those five holy names also use as the same function when the soul travels through different regions.
Does language play an important role in the five names? Can there be an English sounding ones in the future?
Yes, if a perfect living master at that time wish to make a change, they can do, because whatever master give us to recite is carry direct authority of the Lord. They can even give us the word love to recite, and that word love contain the protection from the five holy names. So they can give us anything as the holy mantra to recite, to keep our mind distraction, to keep our mind, um, to put our mind, um, the to withdraw attention inside to one point inside. So they can use any word in this creation to, but the difference is that that word, that you recite has to come directly from perfect living master, from the authority of the Lord. This five holy name, I heard my friend say that you can actually find these five holy names online in the internet. But if those people bring these five names to use in their daily life without the permission of a perfect living master, without the authority directly from the Lord to use, it doesn't create any protection or pulling power to go inside. It's just like any name you can recite, just like you can recite the word love, but doesn't have any personal connection to it. The difference that it's gonna make is the personal connection to your beloved master, the one that actually give you this holy mantra, this holy Simran to recite during the time of initiation. For me, my tips in my spiritual practice is that when I start to recite these five holy names, I always imagine sitting in the room on the day that I get initiation directly from a perfect living master. And the perfect living master is in front of the room reciting this holy mantra for me. So for me, it's work better because I can remember the loving connection that Master give out to me directly at that time. And it's always work. It's instantly pull me to the higher region because I bring, the element of love into this, recite the holy mantra too. So it become my habit that these five holy names, I recognize them as the five Lord, and I also have a loving connection with these five holy names because I get this directly from my perfect living masters.
What if any master uses a different set of names? Does this mean he is not a perfect master then?
No, perfect living master, they are the beings that have awareness of every level at the same time. So they operate from the ocean of love point of view. So they operate from the totality of consciousness point of view. Once they are perfect, whatever they give out is as perfect. In some tradition, master might just born in the community of, let's say, Chinese, and that master might give out Chinese mantra for all the disciples to recite. They doesn't need to follow the mainstream lineage of the perfect living master today. Sometime and a lot of time, master born with no lineage. Why? Because the holy visitors that came into this earth to grace us with the wisdom directly from the Lord and give us a perfect salvation. They come because they are true seekers in that region. So they take on karma of one person in that community in order to respond to all true seekers all around them that have affinity with them. And a lot of time we don't have record for these holy visitors, for these perfect living master of that time that come to visit remote remote region or country that they been born there. And a lot of time they give out exactly the same salvation that we can get right now, nowadays, by coming in the connection of today, perfect living master. But their mantra may be different. For example, if a perfect living master would born in a Tibetan tradition right now, they might give out the mantra Om Mani Padme Hum, right? The mantra that they use in the Tibetan Buddhism tradition. But it doesn't mean that Om Mani Padme Hum, this mantra, not carry power of the Lord. It depends who give this mantra directly to you for you to recite. It's depend on this personal connection from a perfect living master to the living disciples at that time. It can be any mantra, but if that master has the awareness of true home, has the awareness of the Lord, has the awareness directly from the totality of consciousness, whatever they give out will give the pulling effects that make the mind surrender and we be able to withdraw our attention inside. And I heard in some tradition, they're giving the name Radha Swami to recite. And if the master come and give you this word, Radha Swami, to recite for your own benefit, for protection during meditation session, then this Radha Swami word will carry the power of the five Lord, will carry the power of the Most High authority. And this word will help you during the process of transformation the mind into, the soul. So yes, it can be any set of different names, but the one that give you this mantra has to be enlightened to the level of perfection, to the level of totality of consciousness or such kind.
That's it for today's satsang. Thank you, main speaker, for spending time with us for this satsang. If you want more information about ISTA Asia, please go to www.istaasia.com. You can also subscribe to our newsletter and email us any inquiries you may have regarding spirituality. You can also send your questions to seek.istaasia.com. Thank you for listening.